Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive answers from the tarot to your burning questions about life, all aspects of life, and possibly more. I just want to say I'm back from my travels, at least temporarily. I'd spent a month away visiting my daughter in Charleston, South Carolina, outside Charleston, and then visiting a friend from college, and then in Sarasota, and then a friend from grad school in Clearwater. And then I went back to spend another 5 nights with my daughter in the Charleston area, and it was wonderful. My spirit, my soul, my whole emotional being really needed the mental break, the time of relaxation, even though I was still doing some work, and just a complete change of scenery. And in fact, I recognize that I need such a change in scenery that I'll be moving to South Carolina in a couple months as soon as I can secure the apartment I want near my daughter as a temporary place for about a year. So right now I'm in a temporary place in the Metro DC area, and so that's part of the reason why I haven't finished setting up, and so I don't have the table in such a way that I can bring the camera down and show you the cards. So I'm going to have to raise them again, but I hope you don't mind that. I'd like to take a look for this week's reading and keep it short and snappy. Outlook for the reading: what do you need to know to flourish mentally, physically, and spiritually? What do you need to know? Because we all want to flourish. That idea of flourish is that expansive flow of life, of the spirit, etc., of just the joy of life. Just the idea of flourish is such a positive and expansive word, don't you think? And since I'm doing this quickly, I will provide the music selection and the book recommendation after I've filmed this and a little bit later. So I haven't thought through it yet. So what do you need to know, viewers, to flourish this week? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Advice that you should follow, tips that are ideas that will help you just expand more, help you enjoy life, get the juice of life even more. That's what I like to help with. Let's see. All right, I'm going to put the cards down and I will raise them up. Let's see what Spirit tells us through the tarot. First card. Mentally, what do you need? This card keeps coming up a lot. What do you need to do, or what advice does tarot, Spirit through the tarot, give you to flourish mentally? Well, this to me suggests that you need to release all heaviness, burdens, etc. When upright, the Ten of Wands represents or shows an individual who is moving forward, looks like he's intent upon reaching his destination, but he's really weighed down. However, the one positive thing, or a positive aspect of this image, is that because it's a 10 represents the end of a cycle. So soon he will be relieved of this burden. However, when it's reversed, this could suggest that perhaps you're not allowing yourself to release this burden. You're still kind of mentally embroiled in it. Or you need to realize that now the weight's off your shoulders. You've completed the task, and so you just need to move on. I would say it could be a combination of those things. Just look at your life and see any areas where you have felt heavy. This could be in any aspect, in your workplace, in your relationships, in your family. Where have you felt weighed down, or like you're carrying the weight maybe more than you should be and not allowing others to help? So just think about that, and just intently, to be able to flourish this week, intently commit yourself to releasing that sense of obligation. Just lighten the load off yourself. Make a concerted effort to lighten your load and recognize that the time's up. You don't have to be weighed down by this any longer. So just look at that. I would say that what this image is suggesting and advising you is to examine an area of your life where you need to lighten the load and just do it. Physically, this is interesting. The Six of Wands reversed, which this week's tarot lesson is about the Six of Wands. I showed upright and reverse. Now, physically, this is interesting. When upright, the Six of Wands, as I mentioned in this week's lesson, is a card of victory, triumph, celebration, public recognition, etc. And since we were asking the question, what what do you need to do, or what advice do you need to follow so that you can flourish physically this week? And we have the Six of Wands reversed. Well, what we have here, it's upright, it's a lot of movement, but physically I'm thinking, there may be something that you need to release both of these cards are reversals, these first two cards. Physically, in terms of physical recommendations, what you need to do physically to flourish this week is it could also be just taking time to acknowledge your victories, but inwardly, so in a physical way, and that could be just meditating on them perhaps, or not showing this to other people. This is a private activity since it's reversed. Seems to me that it's a solitary activity. Do whatever comes to you intuitively that will allow you to celebrate your life. And so that could also mean even committing to a new physical regime of some sorts, but it's something you do without announcing. It's something you keep to yourself this week. So think about that. What could you start physically in a physical, some kind of physical activity, physical task that is going to at least start by uplifting your spirits inwardly first. That's what's coming to my mind. You don't this is not something you share with other people at this time. I think that's coming to me strongly from the fact that this is reversed. And then finally, spiritually, what do you need to focus on to flourish this week? Well, we have the Nine of Coins. So we've got two Wands cards, and the Nine of Coins, Nine of Pentacles, represents a situation in which this woman is truly enjoying her life. She is basking in the abundance of her life. She's out in her abundant vineyard. There's illumination, so there's a lot of clarity. I would say that what's coming to my mind as I gaze at this card and think about the question and the card position is that really look at your life and be grateful. Look for what you can be grateful for. Acknowledge all your wins. And it doesn't matter if you've had disappointments this week or recently. Look at all the positive things that you have in your life. And this is what's going to animate your spirit. Even though we all, especially if we're in the first world, most of us in a given moment will have some blessing. We will have blessings that we need to recognize. And I believe that that's what the Nine of Coins is suggesting that we do, to animate, to enliven, to have our spirit flourish, is to look, gain clarity, that bright yellow sunshine and background. Look clearly at what you really have in your life, your many blessings. Even though you may have had a rough situation in a particular area of your life, look for the blessings. Acknowledge the blessings that you do have. And if you do that, if you look with that intention, you are going to find them. Honestly, you will. Doesn't matter what's going on. You could have been through some dire situation, but there's always something, as those motivational gurus always tell us, that you can feel grateful for. Just being alive at this moment. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And as I may have mentioned earlier, I am planning to I'm revamping my tarot business. So this channel will likely undergo changes. And I may change the company name, etc., from the Tarot Genie to something else. I'm working on that right now. So change is progress. Things have to change. We can't stay the same. So I'm trying to focus on bringing greater value in everything I do in the tarot, in my tarot sharings. So until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.